Hi, welcome to another episode of Depreciation Nation, and as you all know, I'm Derriff, and I am actually reintroducing you to another one of my Audis. This is my Audi A6, 2012 Audi A6 Premium Edition, and this is really my wife's car. I bought her this car because, I would love to say because I love her, but it's also because I love this car. And as you all know, I absolutely love Audis. And one of the beautiful things about this car that drew me to it was its raw power. It's a very powerful car. It's a fun car to drive. And I'm gonna give you an experience with me driving this car, but it's also a classic. Audis never lose their beauty. They never lose their value, really. And there's just something about an Audi that just says prestige, and that's what I wanted to capture. She loves Audis, I love Audis, and this is my beautiful, beautiful A6, and we're gonna do some work on it, and we're gonna drive the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride. Now, one of the first things that drew me to Audis, as I said, is the raw power. This car is pushing roughly 330 horsepower. This is the motor from the S4, so it has some giddy up, and we're able to feel everything. Going around corners, the handling is pretty exciting. Like, this car has always been very responsive. It is smooth, and what I do love about it is the fact that I can change it to any driver mode that I want. It can suit me as a driver how I like to drive, if I want to go for a Sunday drive or if I just want to punch the gas a little bit. And I enjoy this car. In fact, my wife enjoys this car. She drives this car way more than me, and she thinks it's an absolute joy.
What was the sticker on this car when it was new?
Sticker on this car when it was new, if I'm not mistaken, was around $40,000. With the full package, you could be pushing upwards of $60,000. What I got for it, well, let's just say I got a depreciated price, and I am enjoying the fact that for the little work that I have to do, it's way worth what was paid for the car, and compared to what I would have to buy this car for brand new. You know, I got this car with well under 100,000 miles also, so I really got this car for a steal. I paid under 5 figures for this car, put it like that.
And how many miles did it have on it when you got it?
When I had this car, it had 90,000 miles.
And it still has under 100,000 miles?
Right now, it just eclipsed it, actually.
Okay.
It just eclipsed it, so we have driven this car. I got this car from New York by way of Ohio. It's actually coming from Ohio.
Okay.
And I got it, and it's as I said, it's just been a joy. We have taken long road trips in this car, but beyond that, there's absolutely nothing mechanically wrong with this car. Everything has worked like a dream. We have a slightly cracked windshield. We're gonna fix that. A check engine light came on. We figured what that is, and we're gonna fix that. And other from that, there's nothing else that's wrong with this car. We just gotta give it some love. We just got some brand new tires on it, and it feels absolutely amazing.
One of the things I want to point out is that the fold-out screen for the multimedia system, the hinge system, is currently broken on that. That is something we are starting to look into, and that is something that we are going to repair on this channel. As a result of that, this being a commonly broken part, y'all might want to stay tuned.
You definitely want to stay tuned, because it's quite an interesting fix, and it's something that I'm not going to miss because I'm going to be a part of it, and I would tell you, you don't want to miss it because it's actually going to be quite fun. The
acceleration on this is almost immediate. And to be quite honest, even though it's about 100 horsepower down on that 996 twin turbo we filmed with, the experience is very, very similar at less than a fourth of the price.
I had I can't say it's a misfortune, it was a very, very good privilege of actually chasing a 5.0 Mustang. And I'm not gonna tell you I would have beaten him, but what I'm gonna tell you, he was frustrated because he could not lose me. My acceleration was on par with him, given the fact that this is an all-wheel drive. Putting down power to all four tires was, you could see the difference. Even though I was more than 100 horsepower shorter than he was, my acceleration was just as good. My handling was way better. Maybe that's because of driver skill, I don't know. I don't want to put it on myself, but all I know is my handling was way better, and it was fun. You know, we won't discuss speed. We'll just say that we were doing it in a safe area.
We don't break any laws on this channel.
We do not intentionally break any laws.
So what kind of emotions does this car bring out of you?
Smiles, man. Like, driving this car, you just smile. Anywhere I go, what I've done to this car, and I love it, it has a beep. You set the top speed you want to drive, you don't want to hit, and when you get to that speed, it beeps. So like, I have mine set at about 110 because the car is so comfortable that you could drive at top speed, or you could, I should say, drive at a very high speed, and you're so comfortable you don't recognize that you're going over the speed limit. So I have mine set to a number that will not get me arrested.
Good call.
You know, I won't show you that number now because we're not going to break any laws, especially here on public roads, but it is quite easy to get to that number in great comfort. The engine sounds fantastic. As I said, sorry guys, you are going to frustrate a lot of people driving sports cars with this car. It's a sleeper, and that's what I love about it. It's a sleeper. You're quiet, you're silent, but when it's time for you to roar, you could get up, you could go, and you will hang tight with a lot of sports cars. And you're just gonna enjoy the drive.
It's very comfortable.
Oh yes.
And for those not familiar with Audi, it's got a comfort mode, it's got an economy mode, and then it has a dynamic mode. And in most Audis, I'm not going to say all of them because I haven't been in all of them, but most of the Audis out there really wake up in the dynamic mode. They typically have valved exhausts, and this one I would say appears to have a valved exhaust as well. And those valves open up, I think around 4,000 RPM, and the cars get very, very loud. And you would be hard pressed to tell that you are in a luxury sedan at that point in time.
You know, this is an 8-speed, and the fact that you have that many gears, I know most gearheads would say, you know, you don't need as many gears if your car is tuned right. But actually, I'm not going to disagree, but there are sometimes those rules don't apply, and this car makes sure that those rules don't apply. Having those extra gears makes a huge difference when you were talking about top-end speed. To be able to hold 100 miles plus per hour while still running at roughly 3,000 RPM says a lot.
The legs aren't even stretched.
Exactly. And this car tops out at over 180. I've never driven it that fast, but I'm not gonna say I don't want to, but I know that I have not just the power, but the transmission that can hold that sort of power. It makes no sense you have all this power and you have a crappy transmission. And I've never had any problems with an Audi transmission.
And
I've never even heard of a problem with an Audi transmission.
Let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that this car may or may not have a tune with those claims. And we will discuss more on that at a later point in time.
Yep.
This is essentially a project introduction along with sticking with the theme of depreciated cars worth looking at. You won't find these for $1,000 anywhere, but theoretically, you can buy a car with relatively low miles on it, with relatively modern luxury appointments, which is exactly why Derriff bought this car, and at the end of the day, pay less than a 25% a sticker?
Yes. Less than 25% a sticker, and I am happy.
Yeah, me too.
So this is my Audi A6. Hope you enjoyed the drive with me, because I certainly did. I always enjoy driving this car. And stay tuned. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. But before we even get there, stay with us to see all the exciting new things we're going to be doing with this car. And know that somebody's going to enjoy it. In fact, I know everybody will enjoy it. And it might make you get a greater appreciation for this car. I love it. I know Stacy loves it. So comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.